So Erin, I found this on your website when I was going through your profile. You joined the predictive index in 2018 and you all increased the organic demo requests by 102% in 1 year. So how did that come along? Could you tell us a bit more about that journey?
Yeah, so I joined PI in 2018 as a content team of one, which is really an amazing, fun challenge, right? So coming on, being tasked with creating process, adding people, building this engine, really, because they hadn't necessarily had an engine. So when I said this whole thing about, I helped increase hand raiser leads, it wasn't just me. I was not a team of one at this point. By this point, I had built a content team across that year. I think that we did that. And it wasn't right away. It wasn't in 2018. This didn't happen. It took time to build. And this was more like 2020 into 2021. And by then I had a team under me. I think I had 6 or 8 people at the time. We had a really strong demand gen director, and we were working in conjunction as a team. Brand, demand, content, working as one. And together, we, the marketing function, did this together. This is something that one person's not going to come in necessarily and do this unless you're a really small company.
Absolutely, yeah.
So just wanted to be clear on that. It wasn't like the Erin Balsa show. It was the marketing team. We put together this great plan. And so really, I think what we did that was the most successful, we had been really strong with our content. People loved our content. We were very lucky to have a really interesting topic that people really deeply care about, which is hiring the right people for your team and your company, managing, how do you get the most out of your people, engaging, how do you engage your people, right? So these are really easy to write about topics with endless possibilities. That was good. We also had a unique angle. We had, at the beginning in 2018, I was hired to help launch we're trying to create a category, right? We have this new discipline that we created called talent optimization. So we're not like everyone else being like, here's how you hire. Here are some boring hiring best practices. We're like, yo, here's how you do it with talent optimization. This is new. This is interesting. This is like an endless abundance of content ideas. So we had all those things going for us. However, as many people who might be listening to this are familiar with, sometimes when you join a new company, your marketing and sales kind of outlook might not align with what's currently happening. And so, for example, you might be gating every single asset. And then maybe the motion is, oh, here's an email, here's a phone number. Sales is going to call them and be like, hey, you downloaded this ebook. Do you want to talk? And they're going to be like, obviously, no, I just wanted to read this ebook. So that is kind of what was the motion at first when I first got there. And again, this was going back years. This is really common still back then. A lot of people were gating every single asset. And that was just something that had to change because we all know at the time, content was our number one lead type. So people loved our content. They were filling out the forms to get it. We'd call them and they would not be ready to buy. So the conversion rate we were considering it an MQL, like we're qualifying you because you gave us your information, even though you maybe just downloaded your first ebook. So that was obviously needed to change. So we realized that pretty fast and we built an interactive learning center so that people were not forced to give their information, so that we were inviting them to give their information if they wanted to. And there was a real lot of value in doing so. So rather than the value of reading one little ebook that probably could have been a blog post, they were unlocking all of this content, all of this entire library. And there were interactive courses, there were videos, there were certifications, there were templates. You could actually use all these templates in your business right away. That's a lot of value. And what I try to think about when I work with clients is, would somebody in your target audience pay money for this piece of content? Could you sell this piece of content? If not, it shouldn't be behind a form.
Exactly.
So we moved to kind of that mentality. So we invited people to create a learning account, learn about talent optimization with us over time. And that really helped. And we started seeing when we gave them some breathing room and space and time to interact with our content, they were more willing to then raise their hand and request a demo.
Yeah.
And we all know that the demo requests close at a much higher rate than when we're calling them first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something to learn for us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think even Gary Vee speaks a lot about this in his book, Hook Punch. I think I got the name wrong of that, but he talks about giving out free content, adding value to the user, and then eventually asking for a sale or closing for a sale. So
Yes.
I think that's similar.
You know,
to
what I liked about this was what Erin just said, that, you know, would the users pay for this content? Only then you should put it behind a blocker, or, you know, ask them an email address. Did I get that right, Erin?
Yeah, that's how I think. I mean, everyone's different. Some people think you should gate absolutely nothing, and that might work for your business model. But a lot of times we have some sort of leads that we have to be generating, and it can take a little bit of time to build the momentum so that you're getting enough hand raisers. So this is kind of a smart way to think about if you are going to gate, just be sure that you're maybe getting the best content or the right things.
Yeah.